let's move over to a weather update, and I feel like we're going to be increasingly covering the weather over here at Counterpoints and Breaking Points as it gets more and more extreme. If you live in the South right now, you're getting absolutely walloped. In Florida, they're seeing something they almost never see. Let's roll A1 here, which also covers some of the other. Here's when was the last time anybody in Florida has experienced like this level of snowfall? You know, you'll sometimes get a few flakes here and there. All across the Gulf of America, if Donald Trump prefers.
That's right.
You go across the Gulf of America over to New Orleans, you're seeing just absolutely extraordinary amounts of snow. I mean, that I don't think that thing's designed to be doing that, but looks actually kind of fun. So I think I would love to hear from people who were down there. I think this would be one of the segments where, if you're watching this from the South, go down in the comment section, like let us know what you're experiencing down there and how people are responding to it. That amount of snow in a place that's familiar with snow and used to getting it isn't a problem at all. But we can put up this next element here. You can see how deep and vast this snowstorm is, covering not New Orleans, all across the Panhandle, into Georgia, just truly like unusual amounts of snow and cold in places that just aren't prepped for it. Now, obviously, because this is the timeline we live in, everyone immediately starts making this political. The political link here, of course, you can put up D3 here. Trump, aside from announcing an energy emergency and saying that he's going to lift any restrictions he can find on drilling in Alaska, drilling off the coastline, whatever you find, he announced, you can put up D3 here, that the U.S. is going to pull out of the Paris Accords, which on the one hand doesn't matter. The Paris Accords are voluntary commitments, and D3 is a SOT here. Let's roll Trump talking about withdrawing from the Paris Climate Accords.
Next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. Yes, sir. We're going to save over $1 trillion by withdrawing from that treaty.
So they say there we're going to, you heard the announcer at the end say, we're going to save over $1 trillion withdrawing from the Paris Climate Accords. That is just complete absurdity. The cost of dealing with the climate crisis, I think, is far less than the cost of not dealing with it. Ask anybody who's dealing with any of the knock-on effects of the climate crisis. And like I was saying, it's a voluntary accord, so the costs are zero. Like it's just we sign it, we say we're going to try to do X. We're also getting to a place where it's very difficult for us to use the arguments that we used to use. We used to say it's just not fair that we're being asked to deal with the burden of reducing our emissions when you've got countries like China over here who are just blasting away with their emissions. That was always a specious argument because China was blasting away, creating emissions to produce junk that they would put on barges and send over here for us to use. So if really, the one responsible for the emissions is, to me, the one that's enjoying the kind of product of it rather than the one that's making it. But setting that aside, China has either peaked already or is set to peak very soon when it comes to its emissions and is on the way down and is also producing virtually all of, say, the components for the solar industry, wind turbines, et cetera. So we are going to be complaining about bearing the sole burden of addressing the climate crisis for an eternity, while China actually goes and addresses the climate crisis.
Today's show was sponsored by ByteDance.
That's right. So anyway, first of all, are you hearing from anybody down in the South dealing with this?
You know, I've heard from people enjoying it. If you're not in an emergency situation, you can see how kids are just loving this. They're calling this a once-in-a-generation storm across these Gulf states. There are emergencies. There have been emergencies issued across, I believe, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Florida, and Mississippi. They're getting snow in Texas, significant snow in Texas, actually. The other thing I just want to mention, Ryan, is that as evacuations are happening down in San Diego now from another wildfire, and there have been lots of deaths in the state of California just in the last couple of weeks. The death toll we shouldn't forget from Hurricane Helene was, I think, about 230 as of what we know right now. There are already where people are waking up this morning to, I think, news that 10 people have passed away. This is Axios. Historic snow and icy conditions have been linked to at least 10 deaths as it disrupts travel across the southern United States. So this is, depending on how you're experiencing it, obviously affecting people differently, but this stuff is no joke at all.
Yeah, so be safe out there, and yeah, enjoy yourself. See if you can find a sled. I doubt many people have them.
You can use cardboard. By the way, that's a tip. You can, if you don't have a sled and they don't sell it at a Winn-Dixie, just get some cardboard.
Everybody's got cardboard, and yeah, it'll last for a half hour, 45 minutes. Then go get another piece of cardboard.
You have a lot of it because of Jeff Bezos.
Yes, you absolutely do.
Hey, if you liked that video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Breaking Points.
If you want to see the rest of Counterpoints, go to breakingpoints.com to become a premium member and get the full uncut show every morning in your inbox and on Spotify.